This is Up for Grabs, a podcast where three unfiltered friends talk about anything and everything. And now, here are your hosts, Tracy, Kim, and Rachel.
Welcome to Up for Grabs. I'm Rachel. I'm here with my friends. I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to go the other way. I'm here with my friends Tracy.
I was so caught off guard. Hello.
And Kim.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us today. Today's kind of an anniversary for us. Not really totally an anniversary for us, but the very first Up for Grab podcast was done around this time, and it was about Galentine's, being friends. And we just kind of discussed, we introduced ourselves to everyone, discussed how we met, and the importance of friendship. So I just wanted to say the fact that we're still talking to each other,
Miracle.
after a year, I mean, that's big time.
Yeah.
Or that we continue to do the podcast.
That's right.
I mean, yeah.
Good for us.
Yes.
1 year down. Smarty. So yes, I just wanted to congratulate us for still being friends. Today we are going to shift our focus with the Valentine's Day coming up very soon. Not to romantic love, because who cares about that? I'm sorry. I mean, we care about that. But we're just going to talk about taking care of ourselves. So self-care, self-love, whatever you want to call it. It kind of became a buzzword recently. I don't know.
I feel like
In these past 10 years, how are you?
I think more so since the pandemic. I really think it's full force now.
And it almost sounds stupid to say self-care. I'm just like, really? Is there just something else we could say instead of saying self-care?
I hate it. I was going to get into this further, but I'll just
Jump
take
in.
over. I have hated the concept of it. I have always. I'm not saying I'm right. Okay, so let me start by saying, let me put that on the record. I am in no way saying I am right. I am justified. I am anything. I have always seen self-care as selfish. Now that I'm 52 and falling apart, I could have been wrong in that assessment. I am willing to say that maybe there's a middle place between where I think the selfish people live and not falling apart.
We'll definitely have to delve into that, because I would love to know what you think is what makes self-care, what links makes it selfish.
I don't know. And that's where I'm figuring out now, because you have to know some people that you were like, oh my God, that's excessive. But like, I consider dyeing my hair excessive, which I know is not to most people. So I'm aware that I'm skewed on my
self-care.
Yes.
Okay.
So you're kind of you're thinking of the people that spend a ton of money and
a
it's
ton of
all about
time.
them. And
Yeah.
Well, that's
not
just,
what we're
I think
talking
that's just
about.
keeping up with
I
a
know.
lifestyle,
Maybe. Yeah.
or perceived lifestyle. Yeah.
True.
Well, I feel like I'm on the other side of the spectrum. Like Tracy's like, it's selfish or whatever. I never sat around and thought, how am I going to take care of myself? But I do. And I have been doing things, and they're not lavish,
Right.
but I've been doing them, and I don't feel guilty about it whatsoever.
That's good. I'm
Yeah.
regretful for not having done more along the way. So I'm
Yeah.
Make up
admitting
for it
my
now.
faults. My one fault. I'm admitting that fault.
Oh my gosh, write it down, people. She has one fault. That's amazing.
Well, that's a good intro to what we kind of
Okay.
put a little bullet list out there, and Rachel had sent us, things to think about, to talk about.
Yeah, what you got?
And the first one was, why is it weird for people to take care of themselves? Like, why does self-care get such a
Yeah.
bad name?
Why do you think?
Well, I think women especially, mothers especially, and you don't have to be a mother. You can be an aunt, a grandma, a sister, or whatever. Put everything else above, before themselves. So then I think that if there's a day that they want to go pamper themselves, or if there's time where they're like, time out, I'm taking a nap, or I'm not, which I've never been afraid of a nap. So,
God, naps are the best.
I mean, I
do like a good
never,
nap.
and I grew up in a family that was dead against them, that were early risers. Not me. Nope. I've always appreciated a nap. But I think that people feel guilt, women especially feel guilty that they,
Is it a sign of weakness?
Maybe.
Like you just want to be super mom and take care of everyone
Yeah,
else.
absolutely.
And I don't need anyone taking care of me, or I don't need to take care of myself because I'm super great.
I don't know that I think I'm super great. I think I just ran out of time in a day. You know what I mean? I just feel like sometimes there's so much that needs to happen, and
Yeah.
that doesn't make the cut, where maybe some of those other things could have waited.
So it's a
It was a
priority.
mismanagement of time. Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Tracy, did you have any other thoughts about why it's weird to take care of yourself? Or
No, other than, like financially, I just think a lot of that plays into it. A lot of it's expensive. A lot of the things that I see people do, I'm like, how do they have money for that? Well, they prioritize it and they use that for that, I guess. I don't know.
well, and for me, I do things that cost money that I would that fall under the self-care. I mean, Kim and I were just talking a monthly massage.
Yeah.
I didn't used to do that, and I started doing it maybe 2 months ago, and I feel like I don't want to run around and tell people, because they're like, what do you have to be stressed out? What are you doing that you need to go get a massage? But I
Podcast.
do. Yeah, it's very stressful here. These two are just constantly putting pressure on me. No, I don't think I have any stress. My body needs it.
Need some love. I mean, that massages are healthy for you.
Well, that's what they say.
They are. And maybe as we get older, we can give, I'm getting old. My body needs it. I ache more when I get up in the morning.
How do you keep from laughing? Because I feel like I would laugh the whole time.
Well, it doesn't tickle.
I
I'm
don't
very
know.
used
ticklish.
to be very uncomfortable with
I don't know.
massages.
Yeah.
Very I just couldn't get in that zen, like that where I could relax. But since I've been cleaning houses, I'm like, okay, I need to get over it. And I think when you find somebody that you go to consistently and it's not changing, the person's not changing every time, then I think you can allow yourself to get a little more comfortable. I could never fall asleep during a massage. And I know people, I mean,
Fall asleep. I pay too much.
Yeah, I mean, that they get that relaxed or whatever, but
Right.
Yeah.
No, I
understand what you're saying, though. I don't go out and go run around and tell people I get massages. It does make you feel selfish.
It feels very self-indulgent. I
It
guess.
does because they cost.
really
Yeah,
makes sense.
because they
It
cost.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. But along those lines, so I do that. I'll admit it. If you guys want to heckle me on the
I am
streets when you
judging.
say,
I
why don't
Hold
you just
on.
go
I get
get
massages too.
Why don't
no
you just
shame.
go get a massage since you don't do anything?
Massagington.
Which is what people call me. But I also think when I was thinking what do I do to take care of myself? It's also, a place I like to go is my porch in the summertime, rocking in my chair, listening to music for whatever amount of time. That's my time. I do my best thinking. I'm outside. The sun feels good. I mean, that doesn't cost me anything to sit out on my porch and just take time out and just
No, I agree. I think most of my self-care doesn't involve a lot of money.
yeah.
No, I just think it's just certain
what are you
things
doing
that make
wrong?
you feel good.
A lot. That's not what this is about, is it?
Surprise. No, it's not no, you're doing everything right. In fact, I feel like we should probably let everyone know, because I've been getting a lot of questions about it. Tracy did finally clean out her closet.
You've been getting a lot of questions.
People have been
No one has asked.
nagging me. And
No one has
wondering,
asked. No one has nagged.
So check that off the list of things that
2.5 years coming, and it happened. So
And how long did it take?
2 days.
Okay.
It
Not
looked
full time.
She worked around the clock.
sun up to sundown.
I rested in between.
She took breaks. That's
Although
self-care.
it was hard to go to bed knowing that, because I took everything out, and I was like, oh, what? For one, how did all of that fit in there?
Yeah.
That is amazing. But I've kept it up for 2 or 3 weeks now.
God, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, it looks like exactly like it did when I did it. So
So
Good.
that's showing yourself a little bit of self-love. Because
yeah,
what did you feel once you saw that beautiful closet?
I felt good about myself, but I felt just less chaotic.
Yes.
More relaxed. Kept the door open for a while so that I could just see it when I walked by the closet.
I like that. Maybe you
Plus,
should keep it
there's
open
a
all
little
the
spot
time.
for Maggie. I can put a blanket on the floor there for her.
Oh, little dog. Yeah.
She has a little cave instead of my bed where she usually
Maggie's a
lays.
dog, by the way. I mean, you can't just say
My
there's...
child, Maggie.
I put her in the closet. It's a cave. Well, I'm proud of you because
Thanks. I didn't know you were going to bring that up. That's a smidge embarrassing, but
it's
whatever.
not. I get
on.
massages. That's embarrassing too. But
Yeah.
what I want to tell you is that's a form of self-care that doesn't
Okay.
cost you anything.
No, exactly.
It's clearing up
Getting
space
rid
in
of
your
clutter.
mind.
Yes.
That's, yeah.
For sure.
So let's talk about some of the other ways that you show yourself some care. Now, Tracy, do you have any?
I'm reading.
Well-
Reading is one that I do.
Now let's break it down in category,
Please
like
do.
when you said like emotionally, physically,
Yes.
and spirituality.
Okay, let's-
Spiritually, I'm
okay.
sorry. So, like, where should we start? Emotionally, how do you take care of yourself?
I don't know the answers to these questions. You did present them to us ahead of time, and I'm sure I do things. I just didn't know what the answers were for me.
Well, maybe reading is
I think I put read. I think reading
Okay.
is definitely that
And
would
that's
that's
it.
your emotional well-being.
Yeah.
it lets you take your mind off
Music.
what you're doing.
Oh, yeah. I like
And
music. Yes, I do.
I like a good self-help podcast.
I've never listened to a self-help podcast.
There are tons, but I listened to a
know of
couple
one.
in particular. It's called the Anxiety Coaches Podcast, and you would think that you have to suffer great anxiety to listen to this podcast. No, the lady who does it lives in Hawaii, and she's got a very calming voice, and they're very short. They're like 20 minutes, and she does a couple a week, and it's just kind of getting it outside of your thoughts and different tips and different. She's not a doctor or anything. She's just a counselor. It's a very soothing podcast.
And what's it called again?
The Anxiety Coaches Podcast.
Does she do that thing where they go,
No, but she'll start out and she'll say, aloha. I mean, she's got a very gentle voice. I'm Gina. Yeah, it's very, and she has a nice little quote at the end, and it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good. But there are a lot out there. I always Google top, top whatever kind of podcast.
Right.
And then just give them a listen.
Okay. Did you listen to one?
no, but I like crime shows on TV.
You know what? And I know that
For
people
self-care?
I do.
Yes.
I listen
A
to
good
tons
binge
of.
of crime.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm ready to solve
anything.
murders, so if that comes up, I'm ready. I feel prepared.
And you can protect yourself from a murderer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So but you're right. Choosing to sit down and take time out
Yeah.
to either figure out how to kill someone or to avoid it
Either
or to laugh or to...
Yeah, for sure.
I'm always late to whatever's popular, as you guys know.
Yes.
So I'd like to announce that I finally am all caught up and watched Ted Lasso.
Good
And
for you.
That was my self-care.
Last year, but good job.
And that is a very uplifting show.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I
That makes
wasn't
you feel good.
I wasn't prepared for how good I was
Don't
going to
you
feel.
love him?
I love him. I love his little friend, the coach
Yeah.
with the beard. I love every character. And I love it because they give the backstory. They flesh
Yeah.
them out enough that you feel like you understand why they act the way they do.
Yeah.
I laughed. I cried.
I know.
I
I get obsessive
You rooting
on
for the
shows
different
that I
people
love.
and their relationships.
I
and-
am so invested. And I hear
Yeah,
I know.
the third season's coming out. So I'm just in time. But I was
So is it? I always forget how many we.
there's two so far.
Two so far. Okay. Yes, there is another one in the works.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's how self-care we just recently had a big quote unquote snowstorm here. And for 2 days when I wasn't really wanting to go anywhere,
Oh, that's the perfect show.
I hunkered down and I am,
Nice.
and he's, yeah.
Unlike myself, who watched the first 7 episodes of the final season of Ozark, which
I've seen him.
that doesn't really make you feel good. It makes you feel unhinged, but it was enjoyable.
Okay.
To watch it.
Just to give yourself time to,
Yeah, I finished the last one last night,
Yeah.
so I needed a drink after that.
You're okay?
But
Okay.
I'm okay. Yeah, but Ted
I
Lasso.
watched the Sweet Magnolias season 2
what's that?
on. I think that's the name of it. On,
Yeah, my mom
on
said it's a
Netflix.
very wholesome love story.
It is.
what my
It's-
mom said.
It's very cheesy, but
She said it's so
they're
good.
adorable.
Yeah.
So it's
Steel
season 2.
Magnolias?
No, maybe.
No.
Sweet.
Sweet Magnolias. It's like the second
Oh, it
season
starts
just
with
came
an
out.
S.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never
that's
watch
what I
that.
watch during the
Okay,
summer.
good.
Okay, well, that's good because that's
Yeah.
Okay, so what else? What do you do physically?
well, my selfish massage.
Yeah, we're super selfish.
That
We
sounds
get
like a tongue
massages.
twister. Say it 3 times real
Selfish
fast.
massage.
I usually Lillian is my daughter. She made fun of me because I had on the calendar 10 a.m. massage, and she's like, "That sounds like my band name. My band name is going to be 10 a.m.
10 a.m.
massage."
massage.
And now I always schedule them at 10 so I can giggle about that. But
That's
yeah.
funny.
But I also, I mean, physically, not just the massage because you need it, but what you do every day cleaning houses.
Well, I was going to say, I think some people look at me and think, I do not know how you can get up every morning and go clean a house. You know, like,
Yeah.
ugh. But it saves me emotionally and physically because it keeps me very active and I sweat and I move and I have my mind can go places, you know, like I have a very nervous personality. So that is my calm. I put in a good podcast and
I was
on
gonna
my
ask if you
earbuds.
listen to
I
something.
do. And
Okay.
so, that's kind of what keeps me sane.
Okay.
And I get paid. So that's the,
Yeah.
then that's the reward of it.
That's right. Pays
So
for the massage.
but walking, I love going for just a leisurely walk, listening to music, whatever, when it's pretty outside.
Will it be pretty outside ever again?
It's going to be Friday.
Yes. Well, Tracy, why don't you talk about what we're doing to take care of
Self-care.
ourselves on Friday?
And that is like
Yes.
the most self-care I could think of was we're going to Nashville for 2 days, 2 nights. The 3 of us. It's Kim's 50th birthday right around the corner. So we're going to celebrate. But yeah, so that should be fun. That's all they need to know for now.
Yeah.
But on my list of things that I have done in the past for self-care are book club trips
Yep.
back in the day.
Yep.
That was like my major annual self-care. Was I looked forward to it. I mean, it was like
Oh, that was big. That's when we were in the
ridiculous.
midst of parenting too.
And I feel like
Yeah.
who did we think we were? That we got a group of us together and left our kids for several days. And that, that's kind of my thought process on self-care. So, because I really thought I was getting away with something by doing that. Like I really thought I was being edgy and adventurous and
Pulling one over on the
crazy.
man.
Yes, I did. I
but
thought
we kind of, I mean, that
it
it took
was.
some planning and it took some, figuring out all the logistics of leaving the kids.
Yeah.
But you know what? We
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that, like Kim was saying, it was because when we were in the throes of
The throes, yeah.
parenthood. I think the thing that those trips, which were so much fun, taught me was that where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
Because so for all the times that I would say, I wish I could do this and that, but I can't because I got the kids and I got this and I got that. If there,
No, you
there's
can
a
make
will,
it
there's
work.
a way. You can totally make it work.
Yeah.
And
Because
that
wasn't it something like 28 kids between us or something ridiculous? Like,
At one time it was.
like a
I mean,
ridiculous number of kids.
28.
I don't know. It was a lot. Wasn't it something like that?
Is that Duggar lady in our book club?
No.
but we had a lot. I mean,
did.
we
Yeah.
did have a lot, and they were little. I mean,
And that's when our husbands would get together with all the kids and
And
quote unquote
complain.
watch them.
You're going to make me add up the kids, but okay.
Okay.
Give me your pen.
Oh my God. She's gonna
Continue on.
She's
I'll
gonna
talk
do
amongst
it.
yourselves.
I think another physical thing, and we were talking about like massages, and I don't do a lot of this, but I don't have any problem with people doing it. Is like their skin, their hair, their nails, like just that's a treat to oneself if you go
Yes.
get a manicure or pedicure, or if you go get a facial, stuff like that. I mean, those are monetary. I mean, they cost, but that is a form of self-care as well.
It is.
So, and
it
it's
just-
soothing and it's relaxing.
It depends on what you.
Yeah, what your thing
emphasis
is.
on. I mean,
Yeah.
nails are not my thing. That's just in. Don't
Yeah,
have
I
any.
don't. I've maybe had one
But a
facial in my life,
pedicure?
but yeah, pedicure is good.
Yeah, those are really good. Let's go to spiritually. Are you almost done counting? She's
no, I'm
actually
not.
counting the kids.
I'm forgetting people.
It's the OG book club too. So like
Yeah.
we're
Get them
yeah.
all.
I feel like I'm forgetting someone. Though.
I still only
seven
have.
numbers.
I still only have 2.
I know, but I'm forgetting one person. I don't know. I can't remember now. Were there 7 of us or 8?
I don't have any idea how many.
All right.
So spiritually,
Yeah, spiritually.
and this is obviously different for everyone, but prayer, like however your form of prayer is, I think that's a spiritual, maybe the 10 minutes alone just to clear your head doesn't mean that I don't know that I have found something that works for me. And it's called, and it can be a Catholic, but it can be anything. Cause I looked it up last night, but I read it in a book and it really, really helps me go to sleep at night. And it's an examination of conscience. And did I say that right? Conscience. Yeah. Yes. Where you go to bed at night and you're just kind of laying there and you close your eyes and you go throughout your whole day and I don't do it every night, but I do it a lot and it doesn't need to be detailed, but like, okay, I woke up this morning and how did I feel? I was grumpy because I had to clean, then I went and I did this and I had a really good lunch, but you go throughout your whole day from morning to when you're in bed at night and you pick 3 things that you loved about your day.
Like that you're grateful
for.
Okay.
And then you pick a couple things that you felt like I could have handled better. Like I yelled at my husband or like I, this and that, but from beginning to end. And then I have found being repetitive with it, I look forward to doing it at night because it makes me retrack my day. And when you're tired, it makes you tired. You know what I mean? Like when you're sleepy, it's almost like when you're trying to read a book before you go to bed and you can't keep your eyes open, it naturally makes you sleepy. Because you're putting heavy thought into your day. So I don't know. I have found that I read it in a book called Learning to Pray.
Okay.
And Jesuits, that is a big thing in their faith. And when they are being trained to be a Jesuit priest, is that they do an examination of conscience every day.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be churchy. It just has to be an examination of your day.
I think that I'd be afraid that I wouldn't be able to remember what I did.
But it's helpful. It makes you remember. It makes you think about your day.
Well, and makes you,
instead of just going through the motions, it makes you think about, something that happened during the day that you wouldn't have thought about 2 days from now.
That, and maybe I've never done it, but tell me, does it, as you practice it and you get better at it, does it make it so when something does happen in your day, like you're more receptive
Absolutely.
to feel it and see it?
Absolutely. And I've done it where you do go about your day and you think, oh, this is going to be on my list tonight, or this is going to be on my list tonight because I lost my crap with my kid, or something like that. But okay. I don't know. I mean, I'm not religious with it, but I think that it helps calm your mind. And I think that it helps like center yourself before you go to bed.
I like that.
That's very thoughtful.
Get it?
Seriously, that's what I mean.
Yeah, and I would have never thought of anything like that. There's even an app, and I forget what it's called, but I think you can just Google on the app's examination of conscience, and it picks a topic, like a specific topic every night. It's the coolest thing. So anyways, maybe that'll help somebody.
Nice.
The one thing that I have incorporated and I've been trying to do, and it's hard, so sometimes I don't do it every day because I'm lazy. I read this book called, I think it's called Peak Mind, and it's by like a neurobiologist. I don't know. I just made that up. She's a doctor. She's a doctor of something.
That studies the brain. The brain. Okay.
She's a psychologist, like a doctor that studies the brain. But basically it was a lot of focus on kind of being present, and that when you were talking about your examination, kind of like being present during your day.
Which is really hard.
It is. And then it really goes into meditation, which I think is really hard to be still. But it just talks about breathing and how all you're doing is focusing on breathing. And when other thoughts come up, you just let them go by and say for another time, yes. So they realizes that your mind wanders. It's always going to wander. It was made to wander. And it's just the practice of bringing your focus back to just just breathing. And you do that and it trains your mind just to
be still.
Just kind of
be
clear.
Still. There's nothing simpler than breathing, even though it's very difficult and most of us don't do it correctly. But it's the simplest of tasks that
and
you
it's
come down
the breathing from the belly.
Yeah.
That's like the where you just fill the bottom part. Like most of us breathe shallow in our chest area.
Yes.
And no, that's very.
So I got that book, I think for Christmas, and I finally finished it.
Did you? I mean, all in all,
couldn't pay
did you feel like that it taught you how to be better at it?
It taught me how. The point of the book was that it only takes like 12 minutes a day to practice, and part of it was practice just breathing,
Right.
and doing it for 12 minutes, and then part of it was I haven't gotten to this part yet in my practice, but think of people either that you know, that you don't know, that you're kind of friends with, and do a breathing thing where you breathe in and then you have like a mantra, like, I wish you happiness, health, and love, or, like just something that you repeat, and how it affects
Stuff that's
relationships.
really outside of your
Yeah.
comfort zone. Like that feels weird to do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have to
Breathe in
say,
some good love for me. I mean, just good
I will.
vibes, good vibes.
I will. And it seemed hokey. And then I'm like, really, am I? But you know what? After all these hundreds and thousands of years, I think they're onto something with this breathing thing.
They might be.
Whoever they are.
They might be.
So that's what I've incorporated spiritually. I guess that would be spiritually. I mean,
I think anything that works with the mind, no matter, when I was saying that before, like to preface it, because whoever's listening, wherever you are, spirituality doesn't necessarily need to mean that you're speaking to this God or whatever. It's whatever it is that helps you be still and be present.
Correct.
What about you,
got?
Trace?
I got this book, My Show and Tell, Atlas of the Heart, Brene Brown, and I want to add a disclaimer that if she has in the past or in the future says anything and gets canceled, I don't fall for any of that. I just happen to like what I see right here, right now. So I'm not making a total endorsement for her. I'm just saying, so far, I like her.
Is she new to town? What's
She is
going
not.
on?
You are new to knowing that she exists, but she's been around for a while. And like people just refer to her as Brene, and she's like in movies that have been out for 3 years as like a celebrity. So I
She's
really
been in movies?
like there was some movie I watched recently where they went to like this winery, and it was like a group of women. I have to think of the name of it. Anyway,
Have you ever
they're
heard of her,
like,
Jack? Thank you. Jack's never heard of her.
okay. So anyway, they were like, oh my God, is that Brene over there? And they go over to her table and like talk to her. So it was kind of weird. But anyway, number one New York Times best-selling author is what she is. So,
She must be
she
onto
also
something.
has a podcast and some other things. But this book is Mapping Meaningful Connection and the Language of Human Experience is what this is about. My favorite part of it is that words have always been very important to me, and the specific use of words. Like if you say, I hate something, then I don't think you mean that you just don't like the taste of it. I think like hate is such a strong, powerful word that you should use it for something that you hate and not just like broccoli cheddar soup. You don't hate that, really. You want it to die forever. Like to me, that's just ridiculous. I don't like the use of words of that. And then my other big focus in my mind or my life or whatever is perspective.
Okay.
And she kind of goes to that a lot. Like what I'm trying to think of the best way to tell you this, but she explains.
Where's your bookmark? Because you did say the book is so beautiful that you didn't want to bend any of the pages.
Yeah, and I didn't put it in there because I normally, if I have a book that's 200 pages long, 80 of them will have folded down corners, which is in no way helpful. But I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'll fold down
Is
the
it
corner
like
to come back to it.
highlighting the whole book?
I highlight the whole book. But this is so beautiful that
You don't
I
wanna
didn't
bend.
want to like mess it up. And there were like pretty quotes. Oh, here's my bookmark. It's a lotto ticket.
Is it a winner?
It might be. I haven't checked it yet. Come back later and find out. But it has beautiful quotes like, boundaries are the distance at which I can love you and me simultaneously. And it's a thought-provoking quote. I love a good quote. I love thinking about them. I love sending them to kids and make them think about them. But it discusses boundaries. It discusses sympathy and explains the difference between that and empathy. And it like this one. Okay, so empathy is another big one of mine. So it says, we need to dispel the myth that empathy is walking in someone else's shoes rather than walking in your shoes. I need to learn how to listen to the story you tell about what it's like in your shoes and believe you even when it doesn't match my experiences. So when you empathize with someone, it's not just that you've been there, done that. I can empathize with someone that's been through something horrific because I've been through something horrific. Not the exact same thing, but I can believe them and feel their emotion, and that's the difference. And so anyway, she just does a really good job explaining thought processes or emotions, or
It sounds like maybe if we all read this book, that it would be a whole podcast in and of itself.
it could be. It's like it's kind of modern day philosophy, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
right? Although I don't know that it's modern day. Maybe it's just philosophy, because I don't know that philosophy changes a lot. I think
You
it
say
all
it
comes
differently.
down to
You
the
say it.
basics.
I was going to say, when you say modern day, it's
Yeah,
the way
you find
you
a
have
way that it makes sense to you.
To-
So it's
or
a modern day interpretation
yes,
of everyday philosophy.
to this
maybe.
generation or to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
But I like
Maybe
her a
I'll
lot.
contact Brene and see if she wants to be on the old podcast.
Well, I'm sure if you go through Oprah or someone, you can get a hold of her. I
Yeah.
don't think you're going to get a hold of Brene for our podcast.
Is she not fielding my phone call?
We've got Rach on line 3, Brene.
Well, okay, so that's a book that I guess I
Anyway,
need
and
to
it's
get.
and it's so beautiful, and I don't say that about a lot of books. And I'm not a book owner. I am a library person. I mean, I do own books, but I don't own a lot of books because I just feel like that's wasteful. But I'm glad that I bought this one because it's so pretty.
Yeah, and it's one of those kind of books that it's good for reference. Like you
Yes.
you could look at it again and again,
Yeah.
You can just dip in. You don't have to go from
No,
first
you can
page
start
to last.
in with
wherever.
resentment. There's a good spot.
Not that
Heavy.
you have any resentment. One of the things that reminded me of Brene's book there, the Midnight Library author,
Okay.
that Matt Haig guy.
Yeah. Mhm.
He has a book, and I'm going to get it wrong, but I think it's called The Comfort Book, The Book of Comfort, something about comfort. But basically, it's kind of like a Brene idea where it's all about just little short. It's less visual with pictures, but just like a little short. It might just be a quote. It might be a really short story, but it's all about finding hope and things like that. I guess
Yeah.
like the author said in like the beginning that when he was in his early 20s, he was really depressed and, saw no hope. And now that he's in his 40s, he feels the wisdom of age and how, he just waited it out. And he just wanted to give that hope to other people that were kind of feeling the same way that he was. And it's not a book that you read start to finish either. So
Right.
you can just dip in, and it's like
That's
a
how
short.
this is.
Yeah, and I appreciate with my short attention span, my peak mind. That's about as far as I can go. But
Yeah.
that's another one that you might want to.
Yeah.
I got it from the library, but I thought maybe that's the other kind of book that you might want to own, just so you can have around and
Just
dip
gives
into
you
it every
different
once in a while.
perspective.
And I want to say, come back to this really quick, because when you said something there, it made me think this is kind of like an emotional encyclopedia. So you don't have to start at the beginning and go through, but like chapter 1 are places we go when things are uncertain, and or too much. It covers stress, overwhelm, anxiety, worry, avoidance, excitement, dread, fear, and vulnerability. So
Oh, I like that she broke it down by
she
how you're
breaks it
feeling.
down, and what you think you may be feeling one way is not really what that emotion is. And so then you look further. Like, I always like to say that I like when people are jealous of me, like that, because people never are jealous of me, because I'm like, why would you
I'm
be?
jealous.
So when someone is, I'm like, thank you, that's the greatest compliment. Well, I found out that I'm wrong. The second time I'm admitting it
Wow.
on this
Oh my
podcast. What the hell?
happening
We need to
here?
edit this out. No. Jealous has to do with people. Envy is what I want them to feel. I want them to be envious of what I have or how something looks. And I always go to jealous and not envious, but really envy is the correct.
You want people to be envious.
Because
not
I
people
would
to
have
be
thought of them
envious.
as the same
Because
as the
jealousy
same
has
meaning.
to feel like two people fighting over another person.
Okay.
Is jealousy.
But
So I've
envy is-
used it wrong all along.
So envy might just be not having
You
to
coveting
do
my
with
earrings.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do covet your earrings.
Thank you.
Look at you, all bezazzled. Okay. Any other spiritual thoughts?
No, just
No.
my earrings.
Just your earrings. Okay. I thought it would be fun to play a little game.
You were wrong. Okay, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
you're the one that's wrong.
You didn't tell us there was a game.
Yes, I did. I sent you. It's the fill in the blank game.
Oh,
so it's
yeah,
like we're doing
what-
Mad Libs.
Favorite.
So I'm going to read the
this.
sentence, and then you're going to fill in the blank. I am happiest when I... Just off the top of the head.
See pictures of my kids as babies.
Okay. Kim, you are happiest. I am happiest when I...
am away from everyday life.
I like that.
Literally that's what I think I think that I'm most happy and most at peace when I don't have a phone in my hand, a computer nearby, and I can just be present.
Okay.
Yeah, the responsibilities are.
Yes, responsibilities off to the side for a while.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Tracy. So Tracy says, I'm happiest when...
Just reliving old memories, good times.
Yeah, reminiscing about old times. So when you're doing this reminiscing, what do you feel? What's the feeling attached to it?
Love? I don't know. Joy? Ease?
Accomplishment?
Maybe. I don't know, maybe.
Okay, because
I didn't do the quiz. I feel like I'm getting in
We're doing it
trouble
right
here.
now.
All right.
No, we're doing it now.
'Cause it's just
it's off the top of the head.
All right.
So you're doing it right.
Okay.
The way I was progressing through this, what I wanted to see is you feel happiest when you're disconnected but connected
In the moment.
in the moment.
Correct.
And what is the feeling you feel when you
Calm.
Okay.
Like peace.
Peace.
Yeah.
So then the follow-up Mad Lib question is, what can you do to get that feeling more often in your life? So it's a feeling you value, being calm, being at peace. If you don't have time to throw away your phone and never respond to anyone ever
Right.
again, which nobody does, what can you do self-care wise to bring the feeling of calm into your life daily? And
Well, just what you were saying with that peak mind or peak whatever
peak mind.
is just really learning and investigating how to stay centered. Obviously, you can't do it all day long, but to be mindful of what I'm doing and how it makes me feel.
But I think you're kind of doing that with your end of the day routine.
Yeah.
And maybe
I need a morning routine because I think
Okay.
that's when I don't know how like everybody feels anxious at different, like some people are really anxious at night. Some mornings are really tough as far as like,
you don't know what's going to happen.
yes. And is today going to be a good day? Am I going to feel just all the things that,
Okay.
I have the hardest time feeling centered in the morning.
Okay. Well, I think that would be something that we can follow up on later.
Yeah.
To just like investigate things
Yeah.
that make you feel to start your day
Yeah.
in a calm way. And then that's a feeling obviously that you value. So Tracy, if you value feeling the love.
Yeah, I don't know. Mine's tough. Or more at ease, I guess. I don't know. Because like the love, my kids could not shower me with more love. It's
They really do
super
love her.
ridiculous. It's
They love her.
so over the top, and they need to stop. Sometimes it's so over the top, but so I always feel loved. So that's not
Okay.
I don't know what it is then. It's I don't know. I don't have an answer. You didn't answer the question.
No, I didn't. So okay, well, it's hard.
It is hard.
It is hard. Okay, so let's see.
That's what she said.
I thought we would make it through a podcast without that's what she said. I really did. I had so much hope. You done?
Yep.
Alrighty. I am happiest when I'm going to go straight for a feeling because I'm happiest when I feel secure and safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's what activity like.
I know that's hard because those are
I don't know
two
if you
great
are happiest
words.
when you feel secure and safe because you like started writing and exposing yourself.
I'm not
that, in fact,
exposing my.
emotionally.
That's what she said.
Yes, emotionally exposing yourself through writing, through the podcast, and I think these things are making you very happy. But I don't know that you really feel safe in those, or because I feel like you're putting.
Well, I think
you
you-
seem to be happy putting yourself out there.
I wasn't thinking of those things when I said I would just that I like to feel secure and safe.
Okay.
I guess I was just more thinking of like in my relationships and I don't know, like
Well, I think when you do things that make you happy or do things that are outside that, your creative side, it makes you secure. It gives you a confidence that not like a boastful confidence, but it makes you feel good inside. And I think that good feeling, when you feel good inside, I think you do feel secure, like, and safe. Like when you're happy. Wow, this is really deep for me because like I'm like really trying, because those are really good words, like secure and safe. Like those are like would be words that I didn't think of, but would be my words too. Like that's so important
And that
to me.
makes you calm.
I
mean, I
like
guess they're
secure and
connected.
safe in any way, like health wise, any type of way. But I think when you are doing things that are fulfilling you,
Right.
you know, stepping that you're happy and that's what's giving you the, I don't know. I think that there's some thought to that maybe that's what you could say makes you feel secure and safe.
I love it.
I do. Yeah,
You
I do
cracked
too.
that,
I
Kim.
do.
Nice.
Man.
Like that was a Ted Lasso moment. Let's all end. I don't know if Tracy did this because apparently
I did my homework, by the way.
Well, I think that we should wrap it up with maybe a quote that you found that resonates with you about self-care. You didn't do it.
I didn't do that.
Kim, did you have a quote?
Okay. And I don't want to come across, I follow, you know, a couple different pages on Instagram. I follow like with quotes. I feel like they all bleed into each other at some point.
They do.
And so I even Googled last night because I'm like, maybe something will like, you know, my memory. I don't know. I've always liked and let go, like be still, like the whole be still and know. And then you can take the and know wherever you want to go. But I just, because that would be my mantra. If I were to just be still, be present, be still, that would be, but I don't have this, you know.
Well, when I was looking,
quote.
I didn't either. I don't
Yeah,
have
it's
something-
hard.
I don't have a mantra I live by.
Yeah.
I do.
Oh my gosh, she's another show and tell. Get it out there. Put it up the camera.
No, you got it. Yeah, I was going to say, don't tease.
Well, you guys have seen it before.
Yeah, I have.
So let it be kind, which is a combination of let it be and be kind. It's
Yeah,
kinda
let
like
it be.
all
Be
put
still. Yeah.
together. So yeah, same idea. That's mine.
That's your mantra. Well, when I was just looking at self-care quotes, one that I liked, which kind of goes back to, it spoke to me more when the kids were younger, was saying no can be the best form of self-care.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And I'd love to say no.
That is
I don't
not
have
in
a
my vocabulary.
I was going to say, I have no, like, I can say no.
I love saying no.
Yeah.
I struggle.
Just say it.
No, you do struggle. You do struggle. I can say no.
Yeah.
Easier as I've gotten older, but I've never really been one to shy away from that.
So you love just to say yes to everything.
No, not necessarily. I said it. It's just hard for me.
And is that because it makes you feel weak? Just like taking
Maybe.
care of yourself?
Maybe.
Oh, we need to break this. We're going to go to Nashville, kids, and we're going to break Tracy of her reluctance to take care of herself.
Why are you breaking me up in Nashville?
Your reluctance to take care of yourself.
Oh, no. Well, it makes it sound like I don't. I do. I just didn't have good examples of it, but I do.
Okay. Well, if you think of other good examples of it,
Yeah.
which was like what you were supposed to do,
I know. I tried.
I love you.
Okay.
She tried. Yes. So I think just to wrap it up, we would encourage you to share with us ways that you take care of yourself, either that cost money or don't. We would love to get new ideas. Maybe we're missing out on something.
I know.
fun.
I mean, I feel like we shared some good ideas, and I'm always up for hearing good ideas.
Yes. So we would love for you to go ahead and let us know what we're missing out on self-care wise. We are going to go on our girls' trip to Nashville. What happens in Nashville stays in Nashville until next time.
No,
when
because
we
I'm
come
going to
back.
record things. I'm definitely recording.
Somehow we're going to make
There
our
will be
trip
video.
be a podcast. And so we are going to maybe even have some nice, interactive footage. Who knows? Who knows?
Interactive footage.
That
Oh,
means I'm
no.
going to have video evidence of what happens.
We've
That
never
is
done
what-
that with a podcast. We've never had like a show and tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not taking the show actually on the road, but I think
No,
we can.
but we can incorporate it into
a
something.
little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll be careful when I'm line dancing. I don't want to. I don't want to become an internet sensation.
Well, too late.
It's
sister.
too late. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Take care of yourself and be good to yourself and to others. See you next time.